Hello folks, welcome to a brand new video and also a very special theory that I want to explain to you guys today. When the Ninja Turtles were announced in Injustice 2, my prediction video of the Ninja Turtles gained a lot of views and a lot of sort of hype, as people were kind of wondering, how did I guess this, and you know, how did this happen? And I made a follow-up video explaining what went through my mind when predicting such a theory, and yeah, I kind of just went through the whole process. But I'm not done predicting all these crazy things the Ninja Turtles are doing. I have one big theory that includes Rocksteady Studios and WB Montreal. So Rocksteady Studios are the people who created the Batman Arkham games. So basically, here's my theory, and I think, by the end of this video, I think if you don't agree with the theory, I think you're going to at least see that this is something that is highly probable. If it's not their next game, it is somewhere down the line. It seems like it's just bound to happen at this point. So here is my theory. So it's sort of been long speculated that Rocksteady's next big game is going to be a Superman game. And if you don't know a lot about, when it comes to creating a AAA game from the ground up, it takes many, many years to create development on a game where you have to build the mechanics from the ground up, basically. So in that aspect, the Superman game is going to take a long time. And I think it's been in development for a long time already, but I'm still going to bet that it's probably still 1 or 2 years off from being released. Probably over a year from being announced, but definitely probably around 2 years away from being officially released to the public. So what is my theory today? My theory is that Rocksteady and WB Montreal's next Arkham-style game will be the Ninja Turtles, a Ninja Turtles Arkham-style game. That's right. Take Arkham City, Arkham Knight, and combine that with the world of the Ninja Turtles. Already in your head, just close your eyes and think. A Arkham-styled Ninja Turtles game. You can already see in your head how it's already like a match made in heaven. Rocksteady Studios has created a city location for Batman to roam in, the Gotham city area that we go around in. Already the Ninja Turtles takes place in New York. So what's the difference? You don't really have to change anything, you just have to change the buildings from having Gotham and the DC universe on it and change it to New York. Similar to what's happening with the upcoming Spider-Man game. All they have to do is take the big buildings that they've already created and just change it to New York. And also think of two other things. The fighting style, the way Batman fights, how he fights with martial arts. The Ninja Turtles are ninjas. That's how they would fight as well. And you're probably saying, but how are you going to fight as all four turtles? Well, in Batman Arkham Knight, they introduced a mechanic where you can have a partner fight with you at the same time and you can switch between them. So pretty simple. Just add 2 more turtles and there you go. You have the Batman Arkham fighting mechanics and you have 4 turtles fighting at the same time. And obviously there's parts of this game where all 4 turtles don't have to be there at the same time. There could be an aspect of the story where 3 of the turtles get captured and you're on your own. Obviously, you're alone fighting as one of the turtles. But to move away from that a little bit, and also obviously the stealth mechanics of the Ninja Turtles, obviously all of the stealth mechanics are already in place in the Arkham games. So already off the top of my head, this seems like the best logical step for Rocksteady or WB Montreal to take with their Batman formula, which I'm pretty sure they're done making Batman games. There's a whole big thing about the Arkham Insurgency game, and I'm going to touch on that in a minute. about the future of that game. Just to let you know, I still think that game is happening, but I think it's been delayed in favor of creating a Ninja Turtles game. Now, before we go any further, I want to go back a little bit. I wanted to dedicate the beginning of this theory to kind of explain to you how the way the Arkham games are, you don't have to change that much to fit the Ninja Turtles. Just change Gotham to New York. You got to fix up, the main character being a turtle, but keep the fight style, keep the stealth mechanics, you keep the city location, and there you go. All you have to do is develop all of the new villains, create some crazy boss battles, an awesome story, and there you go. But now I want to dial it back, and I want to go to the beginning of this theory. So this theory started in my head right when NetherRealm Studios revealed the Ninja Turtles to be in Injustice 2. You're probably thinking, what does the Ninja Turtles being in Injustice 2, a NetherRealm game, what does that have to do with Rocksteady Studios? You're probably asking me, how do you bridge the gap between Ninja Turtles and Injustice 2 and Rocksteady's next game being, or WB Montreal's next game being the Ninja Turtles? So here it is. Let me bring you back to 2013, when after Arkham City, it was revealed that WB Montreal was developing Batman Arkham Origins. Now, at this point, only Rocksteady has been creating Batman Arkham games, so people were a little bit skeptical that a different studio would be developing their next Arkham game. And to some fans' dismay, I think a lot of people really didn't like Arkham Origins that much, and I will admit, I think the game lacked the true sense of polish that the other games have. It just felt a little bit more like, hey, we just need you to make some Batman game in order to bridge the gap between, our previous game and our next upcoming big game, which is Batman Arkham Knight. So we need you guys to kind of just make a quick little game to hold the fans over while they wait 2 more years to get their big, final, amazing Batman game. So, still, I haven't answered your question about NetherRealm Studios, so here's your answer. NetherRealm Studios created a mobile version of Batman Arkham Origins for iOS, Android, and devices like that. And here's the other thing. That game, Batman Arkham Origins Mobile, played similarly to Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile, which is a mobile fighting game. Now, here's where things are going to start to click. In the Injustice Gods Among Us mobile game, they put in the Arkham Origins version of Batman into that game as cross-promotion for Batman Arkham Origins the game and the mobile game. Now, I think you're probably starting to see where I'm going with this, and I want to make one thing clear about my mindset. So let's say Batman Arkham Knight, in this situation, in this timeline, is the Superman game. So right now, the Superman game is 2 years away. This Ninja Turtles game is the Batman Arkham Origins of this little theory that we're talking about. So consider this. Let's say Rocksteady Studios said to WB Montreal they were probably working on some, sort of Batman game, but they've probably decided to go to them and say, you know what? Let's try and do something different. Let's try to go a different route. And I think this is where, the Ninja Turtles come into play. Obviously, WB Games and Nickelodeon, who own the Turtles, have been in talks to include them in Injustice 2. So, what if the reason the Ninja Turtles are in Injustice 2 is to cross-promote this Ninja Turtles Arkham-style game that Rocksteady or WB Montreal is creating? What if it's a cross-promotion tactic? If this were true, if Rocksteady's next game was the Ninja Turtles and NetherRealm Studios was creating a mobile version of the Ninja Turtles game, it would be exactly the same as what they did with Batman Arkham Origins. Now, obviously, Injustice Gods Among Us was already released, and it was already way too late for them to put something, Batman Arkham Origins related in Injustice Gods Among Us. Alright, so now that I've explained myself, I want to set up this theory now, beginning to end. So here it is. In the past, Batman Arkham Origins was created to hold the fans over for Batman Arkham Knight, which was coming 2 years after. And along with Batman Arkham Origins, which was being developed by WB Montreal, NetherRealm Studios created a mobile fighting game that played similarly to their Injustice game. They created a mobile version where you play as Batman, and it plays similar to that fighting style mechanic. Now, here is now the definitive theory. A Superman game is coming in 2 years from now. WB Montreal, with Rocksteady, is creating a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arkham-style game, which will have a mobile version created by NetherRealm, and the reason why the Ninja Turtles were put in Injustice 2 was so they could then take those mechanics and put them into the Ninja Turtles, Arkham-style mobile game that they will likely be creating for this game. And that's basically my theory. This theory totally stems on the fact that there's a Superman game coming, but it's too far along, and we just need something. Now, do I truly believe that this is happening? I'm going to say yes and no. To start off with no, for some reason I feel like if this was really happening, I feel like we would have gotten a leak, or something would have leaked, or somebody would have said something by now about this happening. But the other thing against that is that I don't think this game would take that much development time. They're essentially taking all the mechanics that they've already created in the Arkham games and sort of reformatting it to a Ninja Turtles style. So essentially, I don't think this game would have that long of a development cycle, probably nothing more than 2 years. And if they've already struck this deal to create this game 2 years ago, that means essentially this game could be announced and released this year. Arkham Origins was announced in April 2013, and it was revealed in October. So, what if a similar thing happens with this game as well? The Ninja Turtles won't be in Injustice 2 until February, so technically if they were waiting until March or April to reveal this Ninja Turtles game to then officially release it in October, that timeline would work out perfectly, because February, the Ninja Turtles release, everybody's playing as the Ninja Turtles. You're getting used to the Ninja Turtles in this fighting style mechanic. Then 1 or 2 months later, Rocksteady says, hey guys, Arkham style Ninja Turtles game being released in October. You don't even have to wait that long for this game. And then Superman game just 2 years later, so you can play this Arkham style Ninja Turtle game to hold you over for Rocksteady's big Superman game. And just one thing I also want to add is that a lot of hardcore Ninja Turtles fans who have been sort of commenting on my videos were commenting on the fact that I kind of called the Ninja Turtles a sort of a childish thing, and they've said no, the Ninja Turtles has been very gritty and very violent, and they've killed before, and it's some of it has been really gruesome. The core fans think that the Ninja Turtles are gritty and violent. The Arkham games are pretty gritty, dark, and violent. So wouldn't this be, in pretty much every single way, wouldn't this be the most perfect next step for Rocksteady? Take their Batman Arkham mechanics and form it into a Ninja Turtles game. A game that hardcore fans of the Ninja Turtles will play, kids will play, anyone who likes the Batman Arkham games or likes DC in general will play. and you have yourself a game that the Ninja Turtles, very famous franchise, they deserve. I mean, the fans deserve a game like this. A game that plays, a game where you're essentially playing the gritty Ninja Turtles game that you've always wanted to play. And you know what, it doesn't even have to be gritty. It could be very lighthearted, but it would still take the mechanics of all the things they've done in their previous Arkham games. And to that, I think this is the best next step they could take. Besides the Superman game, which is the of course I think is the perfect next step, this is the next step to do with their Ninja Batman style game that they've created. This is the perfect thing to use that for. And of course, I also think it would be cool to maybe see like a Green Arrow game, you know, a game that would probably use some of these mechanics. But at the end of the day, the Ninja Turtles, off the top of my head, is the most deserving game of this kind of treatment. And Rocksteady, with the way they've treated Batman, is the best studio to make this game. So that's going to do it for this theory. I really hope that I'm right. And very weirdly, I feel like this is likely, because the Ninja Turtles appearing in Injustice 2, it's no secret that the characters appearing in Injustice 2 had something going on in the real world. And the Ninja Turtles, besides having an upcoming Batman Ninja Turtles comic, a sequel to the one that came out last year, I don't think the Ninja Turtles have anything specific going on where they're trying to promote something very specific, unless it is this upcoming Rocksteady game, of which NetherRealm will be creating a mobile version of to which they would need to create a fighting style for the Turtles in order to then move that fighting style to a mobile version of the game that they would be creating. At this point, if you're not at least somewhat convinced that this is probably the truth, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, obviously I don't have any hardcore evidence. I don't have like leaked sources, or I don't have like Easter eggs from the game, and I don't have like very conclusive, like 100% evidence. But just from all logical mindsets of this whole thing, this just seems like the most likely next step based on which evidence we have, and to what the Ninja Turtles really deserve is an Arkham style game developed by Rocksteady. It's the perfect studio to create this game for them. And with that, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you think I'm right, or if you think a Ninja Turtles Rocksteady Arkham style game is coming, please click like. And I'm also very excited to play as the Ninja Turtles in Injustice 2. Yeah, and I hope you watched my video on how the Ninja Turtles will play. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it on screen right here. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Keep on fighting. Have a fantastic day.